Hello, Watch Chit Chat here, and just a reminder that life's short, buy the watch. So today I thought I would review my Grand Seiko White Birch. Let's get a dial short to start with. Pretty nice textured dial. Okay, so we'll start by having a close look at this watch. The zoom probably before didn't see it, but you can see it now as I get closer. It's just the depth of that dial, which is meant to reflect white birch tree. And the way the light bounces off it, I really like the contrast of the blue seconds hand. And this hasn't been wound yet, so I'll wind it up in a moment. See, it's a mix between brushed and polished ends, surfaces I mean. In terms of the polish, it's a Zaratsu polish, which is Grand Seiko's proprietary polish. It's very, very shiny. I'll tell you what, it makes it very hard to keep a high finish like that though. And one of the mistakes I made was actually changing the strap or bracelet out and trying to put it back in. Is quite difficult. I ended up scratching up these lugs pretty badly on the inside. Lesson learned. So I'll put the watch down and have a look at a few things here. I'll start with the box. And look, it's pretty unassuming. There's nothing really special to it. See the box, you can open up. It's the Grand Seiko blue. It's nice paper. And then that's sort of what you get in the box. Nothing really spectacular about that. Pretty good quality. And then you get this case, a travel pouch, a 2-watch travel pouch with it, which is pretty nifty. I do use that when I travel. It's got a bit of size to it, but it's a hard case, so it's solid. But what's really cool is, and this was unexpected, the stand that you see that the watch was on, this actually came from Grand Seiko, and this arrived in my letterbox one Christmas. It's the Christmas after I bought the watch, and it was just sort of a thank you present that they sent. And then it stopped there. They sent another present the following Christmas, which was this here. I think it is the white birch in there, so it's my watch. But I think it's meant to be a sort of paper photo album. Haven't opened it as you see, but that was pretty cool. But let's get into the watch. The watch is all about the dial, and most Grand Seikos are. The movements are fantastic. The polishing is great. The case shape is just like a sports watch, I guess. It's a traditional sports watch kind of shape. The high beat movement's fantastic. 36,000 beats on high beat. And I'll pop the bracelet in a second. The bracelets do get a lot of hate. There's no taper. They're pretty straight and simple. I don't mind it. It suits my wrist fine when I put it on. You can see it there. Got a wrist shot. It's probably not positioned properly, but it's not too bad for me. A lot of people absolutely loathe it, and look, I get it. It's a fairly expensive watch. You'd like to think that that's spent a bit more effort in tidying up their bracelets. But let's have a crack at opening this up. Now you get expensive tools. This is the spring bar tool that came with my Omega Speedmaster. But you know what? This watch, it deserves the most expensive tool you can possibly buy. Paperclip. Seems to work okay. Just pop the pins in. Normally you would tape this up, especially with the Zaratsu, but I've already had a crack at it, and look, I haven't had a problem taking it off before. It's putting it on that's the problem, And so I'll take the bracelet off. Hang on, that's not fitting. There you go. Maybe I'll use this expensive tool and use the newer end of it. Let's see if I can get this off. Yep. There you go. So it works, and look, this is why it's really cool to have these holes on the side here. Now I'm sure some people are looking at this going, what are you doing? But hey, what works, right? And again, like I said, I've already had a pretty bad stab at the back there. This movement is where it really shines. And look, I think you're supposed to, when you show, can't get that zoom right, when we show the back of the watch, people are saying, look, what are you doing? Cover the serial number, right? But I gotta say, if you can forge this watch and do a really good copy of it, well, hats off to you. But my other theory is that if you're gonna go through the expense of making a fake watch and stealing the serial number, I'd say you're better off going with something that's probably a bit higher in value. If it's diminishing returns there. Anyway, that movement is just fantastic. So I'll give it a wind. And start feeling that resistance. Let's just pop the date over. Get over to today's date. What's going on here? Oh, it was going the wrong way. So today, I'm shooting this video as the 13th. I want it back up. Cool. So the pros and cons of this watch. Now, I'm a dial guy. The dial's just fantastic. The second hands and the contrast. I've already said that before. No lume. Probably, I'm a lume guy, but this watch probably doesn't require lume. It is a bit of a dressy one, although it's a sports watch. I see it more as a dress watch, other than perhaps the lugs. K-shapes, fantastic. Movement, fantastic. Really good, high accuracy. And the water resistance is pretty good too. It's got 10 bar, 100 meters. And because this is a screw down, even though I wouldn't take it in the water, I don't take many of my watches in the water, you'd still be pretty comfortable taking that into the water with you. The cons we've spoken about, these bracelets. Again, I think I've just fixed that con by taking the bracelet off, and we'll play around with another set of straps in a moment. But the other pro would be, the other con would be that I've found it very difficult that once you've bought one Grand Seiko like this, it's hard to justify buying another because they're very much the same watch other than perhaps a spring drive, but the only thing is really dial variation. So it makes it hard to spend that money on just the dial variation. So we'll look at a few straps here. That's a 22 meter spacing, 22 millimeter spacing. And look, it's a bit odd, I had to go buy specific straps for it, but you know, sometimes you can invest in it, especially if that bracelet's not to your liking. That's the blue. This goes surprisingly well to contrast with the, to blend in with that second hand. This is the grey. That looks really good too, because it just sort of matches the case colour. And these are quick release straps, really cool. And black. I really dig the black, so let's see if we get the black on without too much trouble. Again, like I said, you probably want to do that, but I can just, because of that, I can just flick this one in quite easily, just with my hand. So that's pretty easy to deal with. And so I think this leather strap has really given this watch a new lease of life, and it resolves that issue about the bracelet, but it dresses that up as well. And look, I do think that dial is more suited to a dress watch. So let's put it on. So funnily enough, I got this watch, or not funny, but the story behind this watch is I was recognised in my work and got a nice little trip down to Sydney, spent it in a schmick place, and I don't have a Grand Seiko in Brisbane, and happened to be where I was staying. There was a Grand Seiko boutique just down the road. So I went down there, and it was just nice people. Had a look at some of these watches, and after looking at a few, really fell for this one. So this one marks a bit of a celebration there, that I was rewarded, and decided to reward myself with a watch, just to recognise the hard work. Anyway, thank you. That's the Grand Seiko, and remember, life's short, buy the watch. If you like that video, please subscribe and like. Thank you.